What up? Welcome to the Dev Method. I got a lot of echo from myself. There we go. Welcome to the Dev Method. My name is Ricky. And today's stream, we are continuing what we've been doing for the last couple of days, which is 100 exercises in Rust. So get ready. Buckle up. It's going to be wild today. Yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys can see the screen just fine. So let me switch over. All right, let me give you the lowdown. First, grab a drink. Take a sip. All right. After that, get your mind geared in for some Rust. Got some cool Rust stuff going on today. Make this just a little bit bigger here. There we go. All right. Let me turn this down a little further. Okay, we'll keep that right around there. All right, this is what we do today. Let me bring up what we're working on because you guys can do this too. So this is 100 exercises in Rust. The GitHub link is in the description. I didn't write this. I didn't make this content. So we're just trying it out. We're reviewing it. So if you haven't been doing Rust lately and you need to get back into it, this is going to be a good little exercise for you to go through and just see what it's like. See where you're at, evaluate yourself. It's also some little helpers for some tools you can install in your IDE of choice. There's also a solutions branch, which sometimes we refer to because we get confused and we need to go see what they mean for the solution. So there's a bunch of these exercises in the exercises directory. And today we're going over, we're going to try and get through the rest of tickets V2, maybe into ticket management there. We're getting closer to the end, but some of these other chapters here have a lot more like sections or some of these other, so like this one, let's see, it's like 16. Yeah, so just here's a peek ahead. You got arrays, vectors. Some of these things I feel like should have been maybe in the beginning, but hey, they're there. We're going for them later. Let's go back. So we're at Tickets V2 today. We did all of these in the last couple of days. And I think we're at error enums. I think that's the one we're at. So we'll double check that. Also, there's a link here to, so we're at error trait. No, we did error enums. Yes, we did this. So we're at error traits, actually. But this is rust-exercises.com/100-exercises. It's also a link from the GitHub as well. But you can go here and read through a little bit more of an explanation. So you might be popping back and forth between code and this and the solutions branch. And if you guys have questions along the way, I'm here to help out if you got some questions. And if you have no questions, that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that. If you're here to just see how it goes. All right, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get ready. Okay, so where are we at? We are at exercises. And let's see, tickets V2, which is number 5. And we're going for error trait. So each one of these exercises, as you can see, I'm changing my directory, my working directory right now, so that I can be in an isolated project. Because the idea here is that when you're in here, you just have like your cargo.toml file and then your source directory. Okay, so like so, yeah. And this is an isolated project. So when you do like cargo build from this project directory, you're just building the code for here. And then also same thing for running tests. So for example, if I was to do cargo test T, we have all these failing tests. So the idea is that we'll have tests in there and we're going to be able to read the test and try and correct them. We'll also have some comments inside as well. There's usually a lot of warnings because it says like some structs are not used or some functions not used or something like that, some dead code. That's okay. That's not as important as passing the test. But let's see. Here's an example of the first one that we're doing today. So we have a to-do at the top. There's also some to-dos scattered about. And we can just read through and try and see what it is that we need to do so that we could run the test, pass, and move on. That's the idea here. So we're going to do the first one. All right, so we're going to implement debug, display, and error for this error type. Yeah, for this enum. Okay, when implementing display, you may want to use the right macro. Okay, we'll use the right macro. The docs for, okay. This is the standard libraries format module. And it's given us a link, so we can go read it if we want. So implement debug, display, and error. So I think we could just do, let's do the error one. Error for ticket error. I think that's all we need to do. Okay, we got an issue. Doesn't implement display. Yeah, okay, so right. Okay, so we do then display, which I believe is in here. Oh, display for ticket. And then what we have here is actually a format. This one. Oh, look, yeah, we have a little example here. Display. Okay. So we have two different enum variants, right? So let's use what we've been using before. Let's do our match on, I guess, self. And then if I am a title error here, I forgot, how do I get that string out of there? And then I think they want us to write something here. For right now, just put to do, which is our placeholder. Ticket error description. Okay, to do. God, how do we get the string out of here? Just like that. Yeah, okay. So then we want to write the right macro. And I think we could just do this. We just do the same thing for both. Let's go like that. And did we pass the compiler? No, we did not. Why? I know I'm writing stir here, but it's a full string. Why did that not work? Let's read the error. Not write into a static string. Debug? Gotta derive debug. I don't know if there's a dependency here, but let's do that. Debug. Yeah, there's not. Okay. So we can derive debug. We need to implement the error. So the error issue went away. Now we got to do the right here. And can we just do this instead? Would this work? No. Yeah, it didn't work. I forgot. Oh, I know. Forgot about this part. Yeah. F. See, F is passed in. Okay. F is a formatter. Let's look at the help for right. It needs a formatter, I believe. Let's go down here. Let's see. Yeah, see this? There's like 3 options here. So you got the format string and then the thing that's going to go inside the curly braces. So we need this part here. So if that's the case, we have to do this. Nice. I think I got it. So yeah, right. This macro accepts a writer, which I believe the formatter is a writer. Let's see. Let's look at its definition real quick. Ooh, yeah. Okay, impl formatter. I'm going to cycle through, see all the implementation. Debug for arguments, gives it a formatter. All right, we're going to get out of here. Back it up. Oh, here we are. We're back. Okay, so I think that covers the first part of the to-do with the format module. And we're just going to write the string. So basically what we're doing is we're just taking this string, which I don't like this. I'll just call this reason. And same here. Whoops. Reason. So this is the reason for the error, like maybe additional context or something like that. Why is there a title error? Why is there a description error? And we've seen this in the past couple of exercises too, that we've been writing some validation for this in the new function. Yeah, down here. So yeah, here's the title error. Here's an example. Can't be any longer than 50 bytes, those kind of things. So if you haven't seen that from the last couple of streams, go ahead and take a look. But we have a status, we have assign to. All right, what do we got here? What else we need to do? Okay, easy ticket. Let's go down easy ticket. Okay, so easy ticket should panic when the title is invalid, sorry. Stored inside the relevant enum. Okay. Should panic. So we're going to panic here. And if you look on line 22, whoops, we have here a result. So we're going to use the new. We're going to get a results, and I think we're going to match on that. Yeah. Ticket, new. That's all looking good to me. Title. Title. The first one is we're okay. So if we're okay, we have a ticket. Yeah. Just gonna return that ticket. Then we have a possible error, which could be a ticket new error. So we have the title one. Again, I'll call it reason. And then we're gonna panic with that reason. I think that's what we want to do. I think that's what that's saying. And then we have an error for description error, again with a reason. Panic. Yeah, I don't know if I did this right. Let's see. Oh, I think I'm missing this. Yeah, and then the reason is a string, but this. Okay. Yeah, not quite what we want. Okay, so we're getting close. I think we got the basic setup though. And let's see, stored inside the relevant variant. Description not provided. Did we do that down here? Oh, we didn't. We got to write this code again. I think that's what we got to do. So I think description if it is empty or the des.length is greater than 500. And we're going to make this description not provided. And make this description. Oh, and we do, well, there's a couple ways. I'll do string from. Okay. We're still got an issue here. Would be like this. Whoop. Okay, I think we got rid of all the errors, but I don't know if we'll pass the test, right? Should use a default description. So this is our default description. All right, let's see what we have for errors. Oh, interesting. It didn't catch this. It's a reassignment. Interesting. All right, there we go. Now let's try it. Oh, everything's okay. All right. Looks good to me. Okay. We did it. Did the first one. Okay. So that was error trait. Yeah. You know what? Let's check real quick because we hardly did anything coding with the trait. We just said it implements it. So let's see. Okay. I see. So if you're going to implement the error trait, you also have to implement debug and display. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Let me go back. Okay. Yep, debug, display. All right, cool. That's basically what it's saying. So we caught that part. All right, let's move on. Packages. We'll get that ready if we need that. Nice. Packages. All right, we haven't done packages yet, so let's see. So main.rs file, therefore cargo interprets this as the root of the binary target. That is correct. Yeah, so they're saying here, go back one. So this is our project directory. We just have a source and a cargo. If you have a main.rs, that is when you're creating a binary or an executable, that's where it's going to go. It's going to go here and go to the main. That's what it's saying. All right, so fix this broken import. Create a new library target in the source directory. Yeah, so if you don't have a main.rs, then you have a lib.rs, or sometimes both, I guess. That's what this is saying. Wants to create a lib.rs so that we can import something like hello world as a function and call that function. Packages is a weird name. I would think it's crate, but let me just double check here. Yep, okay, so that's the name of the package is packages. It's a funny name. but we do this lib.rs, okay. And then we'll do a pub, hello world, print hello world. Okay, that means if back in here, yep, it should work, and we can call that function. And when we're running this program, I'll show you what that looks like. Right, so cargo, just run. Oops, cargo, run. There it is, hello world. Now there's no tests in here, right? So cargo test, yeah, zero tests. So our guess, we were always gonna pass the test because there were none, but also just running cargo run helps us verify that we did that one correctly. Yes. Okay, that was quick. Move on to the next one, which is dependencies. Okay, this is a natural next step, I believe. Dependencies. Oh, we got a lib. All right, so add anyhow. Okay, as a dependency of this project, don't touch this import. Yeah. All right. Let's see if it gives us more explanation here. But anyhow is a crate. So packages are crates. Let's just see what it's going to tell us here. Yeah, package can depend on other packages. So like this error, that's a crate. Most common way to specify dependency is by its name and its version. This will add this error, which is the name of that dependency. And the minimum target is going to be 1.0.0. That's what that's saying. You can also put the .o.o in there. That's usually what I would do. And then, yeah, pulled from crates.io. So if you haven't seen that before, here's what it looks like. Anyhow should be here. Make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Here it is. Anyhow. Well, look at that. 22 days ago was the latest. Showing us how to write it, just like the instructions were showing. You can also do cargo add anyhow. Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay. So cargo add anyhow. Okay. So go into cargo YAML. It got a very specific version, so we don't have to type that all out. So that's nice. That's very nice of them. Do that. All right, so we got anyhow. So don't touch this import. So when you import a type any error from a dependency, the import path must start with the crate name. Yeah, that's right. Crate name there. All right, so we passed that test, right? Let's just double check. Cargo build. Nice. And again, we don't care about the unused imports. We got a hey on the chat. Don't know when that came in, but hey, what up? Okay. So we just, we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so that was dependencies. Now this error is going to be another dependency, I bet. Implement trait error for ticket using this error. Okay. We've changed the enum variant to be more specific, thus removing the need for storing a string field into each variant. All right, we're going to add this error. Let's do that first. Right, so we do cargo add this error. Nice. Let's look up this error in here because we're gonna have to use it. So let's look at the documentation, yeah? Okay. Here's an example. Use the error from this error instead of the standard library. Whoa, and then you derive it. Yeah, and then this part here, you say what the error would be. Okay. Okay. A couple different variants here. I think we probably just need this one. That's what I'm guessing from the look of the code. All right, we're going to be popping back and forth to this. So let's go back here. Let's double check our cargo. Yep. Cool. And let's look at here. Okay, so this is the one where we say use this error, okay? Then we derive for our enum type, error. Okay, let me just go back here one more time. And it doesn't need debug? Is that what this is saying? Yep. So if we do display, if we do debug, and display. Oh, wait. No. We got to implement display. Yeah? So, impl display for to get new. Yep. We'll do a match. Self title empty. Let's see, the too long. Too long. I don't know if the tests show that we need to write this as something different. Description cannot be empty. Description is empty. Right, F. Description is too long. Here, title cannot be empty. Cannot be empty. Okay. Okay, so we fixed that error there. Right, that's what it's saying. We've changed the enum variants to be more specific, thus removing the need for storing a string field into each variant. All right, I think I might have done this wrong. I think I was supposed to use this. Right? Let me just try this out real quick. Okay. Let me do. How do we do that? Okay. Error. Empty. Description cannot be empty. Title. Oop. It's too long. Description is too long. There we go. All right, so I wrote the long way first because that's what we did in the last exercise, right? But I needed to just mark each variant here with the macro for error. And it took care of the rest. Yeah, so you know what? I'll just leave this here. Do not need to write this the long way. Can you tell me some Rust project to improve Rust? Yeah. I would suggest. All right, the question is, what is it? Dioxys? Oop. Yep. Full stack web. This is one option. Because you can go on multiple devices, right? So that's kind of cool. You do have to, you're not really using like systems programming, I guess. I mean, I guess you could be a little bit, but if you did like a front end part, it's using web assembly. WASM. Yeah, so like here's H1, a button. See, this is like a macro, right? The idea here, I think, would be there is a rich set of tools. Like this is not native to Rust. So learning how that works, I think would be great. There's also another project, which I did a YouTube video on a little bit. It's called Turi. Whoa. Very bright. There we go. Nice update to the website. I haven't seen this in a while. So this is another good one too. I did like a front-end web app with this. It's basically like, cross-platform application. And if you go to guides, this is another one where you could learn a front end as well if you wanted to. I'm more of a front end guy myself. U is what I used. Rust. Let's get this to be darker. Sorry, guys. Here we go. U Rust. Yeah. U.rs. All these bright websites, man. There we go. Yeah, so this is kind of like a React, like they have like use state and stuff like that. So like hooks. It's kind of like a React replacement. I also have a video on at least starting an application like this. Yeah, so you get some HTML, some components. It kind of forces you to use other people's abstractions and you can kind of see what's possible in Rust. So that's what I would recommend for getting better at Rust. If you can't, unless you have people to work with, if you have a team of people, that's even better. But really trying to take on a framework and make something out of it. I know maybe you've already tried this, but yeah, that's what I would suggest. Great question. Do a little heart there. All right, so let me write them out for you. So you got U, Turi, Dioxys. Did I spell that right? Let's go back. Yeah, I spelled that right. Cool. All right, there you go. That's how you spell them. I wrote them there so that you can copy and paste them. It's kind of hard to look at the screen. That's what I would recommend. All right, let's keep going. Did we satisfy all the to-dos here? To do? Yeah, just that. Okay, let's cargo test. Nope, we missed something. What did we miss? Okay. I was close. I wasn't sure what the description should be, or like the string for the reason why it's an issue. But you can see here, I wrote all lowercase and they expected an uppercase. So we'll just go change that real quick. And so I'm guessing all the others, will be the same. Okay. Cargo test. Okay. Yeah, so this is what they expect for the string. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this in. Did that work? Cannot be longer than 50 bytes. All right, let me copy and paste that one too. Okay, cargo test. Nice. All right, we got them all. Okay, that was this error. Now let's look at try from. Exciting. And before we do that, let's just take a little break. Just a short break. All right, we're back. That's it for the short break. When learning something, it's good to take breaks. So I know we're talking about Rust here in programming, but anything you learn, take breaks. It'll help. Drink water. That helps too. I have coffee today, but I should probably also drink some water. Anyways, I think that's it for this error, so I'll close that there. Let's see, is there anything else about this error they wanted us to know about? Yep, that's what they wanted us to do. All right, cool. It's showing us that we could put like the string in here and then pass that along to the error. Yeah, so you can write your own macros. Sure. I mean, we didn't even get to like exactly what a macro is in this, but all right. Maybe other people or other languages have it, so they would expect people to be familiar with that. Okay. Yep. All right, we did that. Now we're doing the try from. All right, let's go here. So far, we didn't need to look at the solutions. It's okay if we do. Nothing wrong with that. Try from. Here we go. All right, implement try from for string and try from for a slice, a borrowed stir for status. Okay. Impl try from string for status. Okay. I'm not sure what it expects. Oh, I see. So if you look down below, let's look at line. What line is this? 24. Look at this here. See how it does status : and then try from? So it's actually going to call this function that's up here. And from the given string, because this is try from string, it's going to try and give us one of these three, or whatever variant we want. We can control however we want this to work. So if, let's say the data came from, I don't know, a text file or something, like some user input maybe, we can try and figure out what status enum type, get hooked into the type system with. What is it in progress? Is it to do? Is it done? So this is what I'm going to do. I'll do a match on value. Okay. And then if it's to do with a capital D there, then I will do a status to do. Okay. Okay. So if I look at the next one, in progress, status in progress. So there needs to be some sort of catch-all here. So that's what this last one's going to be. And that's when we return some sort of error, right? Let's do an unwrap. So let's see. Turn an error. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I need to do okay. Okay. Error. Nothing here for you. I don't know. Well, there's no test for it, so. But we need the last one, which is okay. This one here. Capital D done in lowercase. Okay. Oop. This is kind of the idea, so I think we're gonna have to change this here. Capital D done or lowercase done. Okay, status done. Yeah, because this doesn't work. With that, make it work. String from. Yeah, how do I match on string? Oh man. All right, we're going to the book. Yep, try from. That's what we're doing. The error actually seemed to be fine. It's the switching on a string. Match on string. I guess I could do if else, but I want to do a match because I like that. All right, next idea. Let's look at the solution branch. So I think that's all we are trying to do in this exercise. It's loading. Oh boy. Exercises. Tickets V2. Try from. Number 13. Source. Oh, interesting. Get this out of here. What? Okay, so they made their own error type. So the value of a string as a stir into. Oh, okay, I see. They did this all down here. Oh, that makes sense because these are all string slices. Okay, let's undo this. What? Redo that one. Okay, so let's make this string slice first. Yeah. Okay. But how does it get all of these from toString unwrap? Oh, two lower. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So then we don't have to do these ors in all these different cases. So yeah, let's do that. Oh man, overthinking it. Okay, so to lowercase, and then what? As a stir. Yeah. What does two lowercase return? Oh, string. Yeah, we don't need that. As stir. There we go. Nice. Okay, but what are we missing from this? Okay. Is a. Whoop. We do that. Nope. What did they do? Oh yeah, they made their own error type. See, self error here is for this associated type. They made their own error type, which we just learned about. I guess, Yeah, we'll call it parse status enum. Parse status enum. Yeah, sure. What did they do? They did all three? Oh no, just invalid. Just okay, yeah, one kind of error. Okay. Invalid. And what did they make it of type string? Invalid. So this derives from error. Yeah. What else does it need? Display or not display? Debug. Oh, we got to use this error. Is that already a dependency? It's not. Okay. Got it. I wish they would have said, hey, keep using this error. So that's where I got a little confused about how we're going to tackle this. But that's why we're here to learn. Okay. Ergo, add this error. We are in. Oh. And then we go. This error. And then I got to do, right? Error. Invalid. Just put that for now. What am I missing? Oh, you put the error on top of the whole. Oh, it's a struct. It's not an enum. And we do this here. Yeah, okay. Oh, and then this is going to be. Oh, it's not an enum anymore. Parse error struct. Parse error struct. Terrible name. And then this is not a string, but this is a borrowed slice stir. And then the error is going to be, how do they write that error with this one? I made the struct. Okay. So then they do the parse error struct invalid. To string. That should work, yeah. Parse error struct. Parse error struct. Why doesn't that work? Parse error. Oh, parse status struct. Yeah, I knew I had it. The wrong spelling there. We're getting so close. We are so close. But we have some errors still. Oh, because we got to do also try from a string. Simple try from string for status. Okay, and then they were saying into dot as stir. Oh, no. Okay, so they were saying value dot as stir dot try from. What do they do? value as stir, try into. Okay. But then this doesn't work because they're saying why. Oh, type error is the parse status struct. I'm going to rename this because this is not exactly helpful here. So rename. Instead of struct, call it error. Okay. I don't know why my renaming was not working. Okay. Okay, we're good there. All right, so we fixed all the compiler errors. Let's go back up. All right, so try into, right? So what we did is we converted this value that is a string that's stored on the heap to a string slice. That's what this does here. Okay, and then we did a try into. So because if you do a try from, you get the into, kind of like the from trait that we had before. We get the into implemented for us automatically, or synthesized. I'm not sure exactly what the right verb is, but we get it for free because we implement the from. So it looks like we get the same thing here with the try from and the try into. So what this will do is basically take our stir and call this, okay, but do it from the status. So it'll do the statuses, try from, and it knows to do that because for status here is this self. So capital S self is on the right side of the for here. It's a little confusing, so you might have to look at this multiple times, but that's what that is. Then the self : error is talking about this type, this associated type. Okay? And we named that ourselves. So that's how we got that. So this try into, because of the type system and how it's working and everything that's set up for the try from, it knows how to use this try from and tries to create what it is we want. So I think this is going to work because it looks like the solution. I'm trying not to use the solution too much just to see if we could learn anything along the way, building up the smaller parts to get to the full solution. And that worked. Moving on. Let's see if there's... So that was try from. Yeah, there wasn't much helping out here. Oh, but it did mention try into, so we kind of skipped over that part. Yeah, just like from and into. Okay, so everything that I was trying to allude to here, if we would just read this little description, we could have gotten to that solution faster. Okay. Yep, associated type. Yep. All right, cool. Next one. Moving on. Okay, so where are we at with time? We're at an hour. We're going to keep going today. We're going to keep going. Why? Because we want to try and finish this section. Source and then the outro, which is a combination of everything that we learned. So let's see if we can get through all the way to the end. So let's do 14. What do we got to learn here about source? Okay. So you know how to declare modules. Can extract them into separate files. In the simplest case, when an extracted module is a single file, it is enough to create a new file with the same name as the module and move the module content there. So like status is their example, it looks like. All right. So yeah, here's that crate part I was talking about. So crate status is the module. Okay. We want to use status. Here's the thing. So take this away. Yeah, so you get an error, right? And it'll tell you resolve import. That's because you got to do this. Usually I would do it like one after the other, like so. We'll just keep it there. That's the idea. If you look at the file structure, okay, look at the file structure up top. This is that status file. So what's in that status file? That is this pub status. And I think we could probably do pub crate too. And this would work. Yep, it would work too. I don't think we've talked in length about the modifiers here in this series of streams, but this is public just for the crate. It's like an internal, all files can share. This module has a status enum, so all the other files and all of this project can use it. But if we wanted to expose it to the outside world, to consumers of our whole crate as a project, we'd use pub. So that's what that's saying. All right, so we got the try into, oh, look at that. They have the solution right there for us. Nice. So we could have just looked ahead, found the solution. Let's go back. All right, so now let's see what we got to do to get past this. Add a new error variant for when the status string is invalid. The status string. Status invalid. An error. Status could not be parsed from a string. I think that's it. Okay, so when calling source on an error for that variant, it should return parse status error. When calling source on error of the variant. Okay, let's keep going down here. Let's go further down, status. Parse the status string into a status enum. Status is going to be status try from, and we give it the status value here. That's a result. But if I do that, is that what we're trying to learn here, this question mark part? I wonder if that's what we're trying to learn. We could talk about how this works. Oh, but it actually says it's not working. Explicitly conforms to, yeah, okay. So this error here is a parse status error. So it would then go up to a new ticket status error. So what I think I'm supposed to do is actually do a match on this. And if I'm okay, I have a status, which then I could just hand off to status. But if I have an error, which would be a parse status error, this guy, then I would return an error of a ticket new error that is something to do with the status invalid. I think that's what I need to do. It's kind of the idea. Oh boy, let's have some weird stuff going on here. Let's all right. This is not exactly right. We're getting really close though. Because this is saying it's going to be a status match try from. Try from returns a result. If it's okay, we get the status. If it's not okay, it's going to be a parse error. Okay. I don't know that we need the error, right? So you just do an underscore here. But then we got something weird going on here. All right, let's check for the next issue. Parse status error, yeah. Other errors down here. Oh, maybe they're back in here. Huh. So what's the issue? Unexpected token. Okay. Parse status error. Now I'm getting confused. Yeah, is that what I was saying? I have to use something with source? Yeah, I'm a little confused. So let's go to here. Let's read our error source. Okay, there's one more thing we need to talk about to complete our coverage of the error trait, the source method. Okay. Way to access the error cause, or like what I always call as the reason of the error. Errors are often chained, meaning that one error is the cause of another error. Yeah, so what they're saying is like, yeah, it's a new ticket error, but the root cause or the reason why it happened is because we couldn't parse the status. All right, so that's what it's saying. So the source method allows you to walk the full chain of errors. So implementing source. Error has a default implementation which returns none. Okay. That's why you didn't have to care about source in the previous exercises. You can overwrite the default implementation, however. So like here's a database error. And then here's implementing source for that database error, which I think you could just do. Oh no, yeah, for the error. Yeah, okay. So I guess that's what it wants us to do. Yeah, and then it's talking about this method signature. So what is a borrowed dyn error plus static? Yeah, it's a lot to look at. But the dyn is for dynamic, It's a trait object. It's a way to refer to any type that implements the error trait. It's kind of like an existential type in Swift with the any. So it's saying like anything that implements error. So this is saying dynamic because it's neat. At runtime, it's going to need to use dynamic dispatch, look up in the vtable what is the actual implementation, so that when we call source, we're calling it the write source method. So yeah. But then static is special lifetime specifier. So static implies that the reference is valid for as long as we need for the lifetime of the application. Yeah, entire program execution. So now combine that with being borrowed as a reference to that trait object that implements error and is valid for the entire program execution. Yeah, don't worry too much about either of these concepts for now. We'll cover them in more detail in future chapters. All right, don't worry about it for now. So implementing source using this error. That's why we keep using this dependency, this error. It provides 3 ways to automatically implement source. Nice. So say source is this. Okay, cool. So I think what that means is if I go to new ticket error, I can say the source is the parse error. So here it is. Source is the parse status error. Yeah. Okay. A field annotated with source attribute will automatically be used as the source of the error. Oh, okay. So if I didn't say source, but I could say something else, then I need to specify source as a macro. Or yeah, okay. Field annotated with the from attribute will automatically be used as the source of the error. Okay, we could do that as well. Oh yeah, and then here's the question mark operator, which I thought we were supposed to use. Okay. Yeah, so we're doing a match, but you could also do the, yeah. All right, so you can use the operator. So basically this says propagate this up. So like this returns a IO error, and you do the question mark here. So if it can't open the file, maybe the file's like not even there, or you don't have permissions or something, it will raise an error, and the rest of the function doesn't run. It automatically returns that error. So another way to look at it is here. So if the file isn't okay, then you get an error, return that error. That's what that's saying. So this is like a shortcut, putting that question mark at the end. That's what that's saying. Let's keep going. Yeah, okay. All right, let's look at the solution so that we can just get past this part. Source. So let's see, is there anything in here that we needed to write? This error. Did we do that? Or were we supposed to do that? No, it's got this error. Yeah. It's in there. Yeah, we're mainly sticking in this file. So let's go back. lib.rs. All right, there's our import, there's our module. Invalid status. Oh, and they decided to use the from instead of what we just did. And then this could be 0, which is the... Okay, yeah, and then instead of a like a struct looking thing here, just do this. So that 0 is supposed to mean the first parameter. Keep that out of here. So it'd be this parse error, but now since we're using our macro, we have to do from, like so, right? Oh. This. All right. And this is all made possible for this error crate. We do have some issues. Let's take a look. It's probably down below. Yeah, so now how do we parse the error out of this? And I thought maybe it was, I'm gonna take this out of here. I thought maybe it was gonna be this. Oop. Like so. Yeah, okay, that's what I originally thought we should have done. I just didn't know how to get this part all set up for us. So if that's the case, then we should be able to pass the test, which is an invalid status. It's going to test the error string to make sure we get this error string that is the root cause. So it's not this error or this, it's not status here. And we want to get whatever the string value is from the error that is the root cause. So it is from this. So if you look back here, this is also an error with this error crate, right? This is the error message that's going to be given with the invalid status, and the invalid status is then dropped in here. That's the idea. So if I go back, it's just going to say invalid. Did we do this right? Is there anything else we missed? Nope. Nice. All right, so that's done. Important, tough to follow. I get it. I'm going to take this out before I exit. So I had the right intuition. This is more or less what you want it to look like for the usage, but you have to essentially configure it the correct way. Cool. All right, let's move on. So that is the source. Now let's do the outro. Source took a little while. Let's do outro. All right, outro. Let's look at the lib. Got a status, we got a title, description. Got a lot of stuff. I bet we're gonna have to do some more error things. All right. You have something to do in each of these modules in the crate. Okay. So we actually have to go to all these different files. Common pattern in Rust is to split the code into multiple private modules and then re-export the public parts. Yeah. So it's saying in description, there might be some things marked as pub, but they're not going to be external to client users of our project crate, like the full project. Like if this project was called Ricky, they can't get to these modules. They can't get to the functions in them, the structs, all those types. But if you're looking to take those from, because we're in the lib file, right? This is where it gets the entire interface. You can export bits and pieces from those modules. So if I go here and look up pub, that seems to be the only thing that's pub. But if there were other things that were pub in here, they would not be included in the final library. That's what that's saying. Okay, we're going to derive debug partial equals clone. We no longer need to make the fields private. Since each field encapsulates its own validation logic, there's no risk of a user for the ticket modifying the fields in a way. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is, I would say, a little bit more common when you wrap an abstraction around something instead of just using strings. So instead of validating all these strings all the time and going through, because you could have worked yourself around that, right? Because like you can create a ticket, give it whatever string, whatever title, whatever description you wanted, if they were all pub. But they were not marked as pub before. Now they are. All right, so we got to go to each one of these, and we have to do something in each of these modules. That's what it's saying. So let's start with title. Implement from string or try from for capital S string, and then a string slice. Okay. So simple try from. Let's do the string slice first for ticket title. Okay. Try from. You do a match. I guess we're going to write all of our logic in here. Return an error. We got to say what the error is. What do we have in here to give us some help? Nothing. Enforcing that the title is not empty and has no longer than 50 bytes. Implement the traits required to make the test pass too. Okay. I think do we have to use anyhow again? Okay, let me see here. If I go to cargo.toml, we don't have anyhow, but are we supposed to use it? It's not really saying. This is where some of these exercises are a little confusing. Let me just get a hint here. Outro, cargo. Oh, this error, not anyhow. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. They do want us to use that. Cargo add this error. Okay. Let's go back to title. Implement. We'll give this a derive. Debug's always good to have, and then this error. No. What am I doing? Struct ticket title error. So then we do this. Derive debug. Sure. This error. Whoop. There. And then what would the error be? I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look down below. The title cannot be any longer. Okay. A title that's definitely longer than it should be. Okay. It gets the error, unwrap error. Okay, so it's expecting an error. Title cannot be longer than 50 bytes. So wait, maybe I can do an enum here because the first case would be is empty too long. I think that's what I would want. And then the error here is going to be a title error. Instead of a match, we just do an if else. So if value is empty, return error of a title, error is empty. If the value length is greater than 50, return an error of title error too long. Else return a title, ticket title. String from value. Did that work? How come that didn't work? What am I missing? I know. One of those. Okay. I think that's how that works. I got to get this error in here, whatever the description of it should be. So implement now try from capital string for ticket title. Okay, fn try from. So do value dot as stir dot try into. I don't know. I think I just memorized that from before. Try into. Not sure if that's what we need. What is the error? Oh, missing error. Oh, okay. Type error. Title error still, which then works. If I go down, why is this wrong? Oh, it doesn't implement debug? Okay. It does. Doesn't this implement debug? Maybe this has to implement debug. Derive debug. Okay. I mean, we have this building. The unfortunate thing, let me just show you this, because we're in so many different files, right? We got like build errors here, build errors there, build errors there. The unfortunate thing is we were not working in isolation of these individual files. By that, I mean, like, what if I just did just try and check to see if we could build? We're gonna get errors in these files that we're not working in right now. So I can't even run those tests. So I need to pass the compiler checks, then go back to the tests and fix them from there. So I think that's what we got to do. Strict types. Let's see if we can get it done. That way we only have 2 sections left. Okay, so that was title. Let's do description. I think description is almost the same. So let's do enum of a description, ticket description error. Cannot be empty. Is empty. And then what was the other one? Too long. Too long. This is going to be derive debug. And this error. And then we're going to give it a error, which I don't know what that's going to be yet. You got to check the test for that. But then we're going to implement stir and string. Okay, so try from stir for ticket description. So then boom. All right, type error is going to be the ticket error description. Okay, and so if value is empty, return error of a ticket error is empty. If value dot length. Oh, do we have a length one here too? Yeah. 500 bytes, it looks like. Okay. So if it's greater than 500, return error. Ticket error description too long. Yeah. Then return okay. If we're okay, do a ticket description with the string from value. Okay. Let's do the other one, which is implement try from for a string for ticket description. Yeah. Get this in there. And then what we do is we have the same error. Okay. But this time we can do value as a stir, try into. Boom, because try into turns a result. And that's what we're looking at here. Results, error. I think that's what we need. All right, so what is left? Implement the traits required. Unwrap error. Oh, right. So the error needs to implement debug. Or I need to implement or not I, but this debug. I think that's what we needed. Yep. All right. And I bet it's almost the same thing with status. Try from string. Yeah. Okay, cool. The only difference here is all of these two lowercase that we have to account for. So implement try from. Let's do the stir first for status. Oh, we need an error. Enum error. What kind of errors we got? Just invalid. Okay. Status error. Invalid. Okay. This is going to be derive debug. This error's error. And we're going to do error. Again, I don't know what it's going to be. Okay. And then just real quick, because I always forget this part. That'd be debug as well. Right. Okay. Now, give me the try from. Do the type error is a status error. So what do? We do a match value dot to lowercase as stir. So we could do to do is going to be okay as status to do. And we got in progress. Be an okay status in progress. Got the done. Okay, status done. Now, because there's multiple ways for a stir to happen, go error. We're going to return an error of a status error invalid. Whoops, how did that happen? Error invalid. Okay, and now we implement try from string for status. FN There we go. And same error here. So what we do, value dot as stir try into, should get both. We're good. All right. We still have some issues. Oh, partial equals. Okay, what else? Nothing else? All right, yeah, because we want to do an equals comparison in the test. So that's what we're doing there. All right, let's keep going. It's a lot. It's a lot to implement before we can even check our work. So let's just, do we build? No, we don't build. Why don't we build? Okay, let's read the errors. Clone was not implemented. All right, so we're gonna have to do clone for these. I think that's what that's saying. So clone. Clone. Probably why we have these like hints coming up here. Partial equals. Okay. Status is good, but then this one, we need a partial equals. Whoop. Oh, but what do we need for this one? Hub it. Okay. How we doing now? Cargo check. Cannot leak a private type. Okay. That is in status. Yeah, so hub this. And what do we do in title? This is a private type too. Okay, there we go. All right, because ticket title is made public, let me show you this. Well, because it's for this, it's the same for all of them. It's for the type that they are, ticket title's error. They all need to be made public because we have this public struct ticket, and then we have these abstractions of a ticket title. But the ticket title can throw an error, and that's the try from. So these errors also need to be made public as well. That's the idea. And oops, we know this because, let's see. Yep, so here we go. Got to make it pub for like, say, the description error. And this has to be pub. That's the idea. Did we get it all? Are we ready to pass the compiler check? We are. So I did cargo check. It doesn't emit anything. You can do cargo build. It actually builds artifacts from that. But let's do cargo test. Let's just do title. Yeah, I thought we'd fail. Okay. Title cannot be empty, and title can be longer than 150 bytes. All right. So if we go to title, this is it here. So can I do the error here? Title cannot be empty. Okay. Title is too long. All right. I'm going to run that same test I did before. I expect the too long test case to fail, but not the title one. Yeah, okay. So let's just double check. Oh, the title cannot be empty. Okay. The title cannot be empty. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so that one did pass. The too long did not pass. I just have to put in the right expected error here, which is the title cannot be longer. Oh boy, longer than 50 bytes. Oh boy, lots of spelling mistakes. All right, did I pass now? I did pass. Okay, cool. So that's what we're gonna do for the description as well. Let me open up the description. Let's go down a little bit further. Let's do the too long description. So put error here. Error. Okay. Then what is the one for this? Okay. Oh, back at title. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. All right, so description should work. Let's try that. We do cargo test description. Yeah, all right. But then if I do cargo test status, that will be okay as well. Okay, so cargo just test. Everything pass. Cool. Guys, we did it. Where's the emoji with like the confetti that comes out? Nice. All right, this took a while to get to this point. Oops. Oh boy. Didn't want to do that. All right. So that was the outro. And that means we can go back up. So now we're on ticket management, threads, and then futures. Threads, that'll be fun. Futures, even more fun. But then ticket management. I don't know what ticket management's gonna be. Can we take a sneak peek? Take a sneak peek. Whoops. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, whoop. Ah. Okay, this is ticket management. Got an intro. Oh, arrays, vectors, resizing, iterators, iter. Yeah, okay. All right. Got a lot to do. I think we can get through this one. Not now, but later. So, yeah. I think we can get through it a little later. All right, but what I needed to show you now is this. Just want to say thank you for joining us in the stream today for the dev method. And let me get to our little overview. We were doing these 100 exercises to learn Rust. So I have a bunch of videos about Rust from the Rust programming book. This is a repo. That's the links in the description. I did not create this content, but I'm just looking at it, trying to evaluate it for you all. I think it's good. I think there's definitely some things in here that the Rust programming book doesn't teach you. It's not always straightforward. So, you have the solution branch, get the solution for all these exercises. All these exercises are at least small enough to do on your own time. But just do a little bit at a time. Take some breaks. They also have this really nice website, rust-exercises.com/100 exercises. Yeah. And yeah, we did a lot today. So thanks for watching. So if you guys have any questions, come back for the next stream. Type them in. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm wiped. Oh, I just realized too, I was covering up the screen. But yeah, you guys, you have the link in the description. 100 exercises of rest. All right, thanks for watching. See you again later.